I'm back, my fellow Weebians, to give you What If Deku was Sub-Zero Part 1. I know, guys. I know you guys were young for this to come out like like yesterday. I know, and I'm here to give. It to you. Sorry, right there. So, where do we start? Oh wait, before we start, yeah, Sub-Zero was, not gonna lie, one of my favorite ideas. I mean, I didn't come up with it. I was actually reading, I was reading a Wattpad idea, Sub-Zero and stuff like that, and watching Sub-Zero what ifs. They were good, and I thought, you know what? Let me give my take on this. My take, my ship. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody shipped Shoko. I'm gonna say Shoko. Yes, Shoko. Shoko. So yeah, that's gonna be her new name, Shoko. I mean, you can see it right there, right there. She is lovely, isn't she? But enough of that, guys. You're here for the what if. So, where do I start? Yes, we start with baby Izuku. I mean, the newborn Izuku. Izuku came out of her mom's badge, and we see him all happy and shit. Oh, not my bad, happy, my dumbass. No, emotionless. This dude not smiling at all, or not even crying. He's showing no emotions. And that's not what Asashi was worried about. This dude has white hair. I'm gonna say in this one, Hisashi has blue, and Inko still has her green. So Hisashi is demanding, why does he have white hair? And Inko doesn't know the answer to that question. Hisashi demands a DNA test, and Inko's like, well, yeah, let's give it to him. Inko's not gonna deny him, and she knows that's his baby. And they did a DNA test, and Hisashi apologized 100 times. You know, he should have believed her, but Inko's like, don't worry, I would have done the same if I was in your position. I mean, like, come on, the kid has white hair. And Hisashi's like, thank you for understanding. Hisashi breathes in and out. Oh, thank God, he thinks. But Hisashi's still perplexed. So Hisashi brings it up. Inko, why isn't he not crying? The doctors were already took Izuku to do tests, not test on him, but to test his blood, see if he's okay and stuff like that, And Hisashi sits down, and Inko doesn't know the answer to that. And Inko was the same answer, the same question, or not the same question. Gives him the answer. I don't know why he was not crying. Babies cry a lot. I saw a bunch of videos about babies crying. Why was he not crying? Hisashi's still perplexed about that, but Hisashi was like, never mind, he's our baby, and I guess he's a little mature for his age, I guess. Inko laughs with Hisashi, stuff like that, and all that. The doctors do the test on around Zuko, but for some reason Zuko is very cold. He is, after he got out of his mom's womb, the doctors felt him, he turned cold. Like, his body is just not frozen, but not room temperature, just cold, AC cold. Like, he's like emanating off coldness. And doctors doesn't know why. They think that he's just special, or because they don't believe in babies being born with quirks. And Izuku, I'm not saying Izuku wasn't born with his quirk. I'm gonna say Izuku had his quirk manifest a little before. He's pretty early, but not too much really. So we're gonna skip to 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. Izuku wakes up with a motionless face. He's like, so it's the next day, and the day of my quirk. I was about to say quirk counseling. I mean quirk awareness or something like that. The quirk doctor to see what my quirk is. Izuku says, gets up, brushes his teeth, takes a shower, cold shower of course, gets out, put on his clothes, and he walks out. His mom sees Izuku. She picks Izuku up, smiling, kissing him, and say, that's my beautiful straight-faced boy. Yeah, Inko doesn't mind his face being straight and stuff like that, Puts Izuku down, and Izuku asks his mother, so when are we gonna see the quirk doctor? And Nico's like, when your father comes back from work. By the way, I don't want to drop the bomb on you guys like that, but Hasashi, he's how should I say? He has that bank. I mean, he is like how should I say? You know, Bakugo's dad, that type money. You know, fashion designer type money. You know, he has like the same amount of money of that Bakugo's dad has, or Katsuki's dad. They're both named Bakugo, of course. So yeah, Bakugo and Kachan are kind of, but mainly frenemies, stuff like that. They still have to see what their quirks are. So, yeah. Enough of that. Hasashi knocks on the door. Inko opens it for him. So like that. Yeah, he left his keys at home for the opening the door, and Inko's like, "So you left your keys again, honey?" And Hasashi scratches the back of his head. He's like, "Yeah, I forgot. You know how work is." And Inko's like, "Yeah, I know, honey." They get inside. Izuku just starts running towards his father and stops right in front of him and puts his hands up and with a motionless face. Of course, it's pretty cute to me. I have a picture of my idea how it looks like. Hasashi's like, "Oh, that's my slugger." He picks him up, hugs him. "I can't wait to see what your quirk is, and you're gonna be the hero, just like your idol, All Might." And Izuku's like, "Yeah, I can't wait." Izuku doesn't sound excited or look excited, and Izuku says, I'm so excited, father." And Hasashi's like, "Are you?" Like, he's kind of skeptical what his son's saying, but Izuku's like, "Yes, father, I'm very excited." Hasashi puts Izuku down, and Izuku's now running downstairs. Not my bad. Running out of the door, and Inko's like, he's really excited, but he really doesn't show it. Hasashi's like, "Yeah, he's very mature for his age, huh?" "Yes, honey, I think he's very mature for his age." So they leave. You know, they drive to Quirk Doctor. The Quirk Doctor. No, they drive to the hospital. They get in there and they see that Bakugo's waiting, and Izuku sits next to Bakugo, and while Bakugo's dad is talking to Hasashi, and Inko's talking to Misaki, the thickness Misaki. You know what I mean? Just let me hit one time. I'm playing. Stop. But yeah, Izuku's not talking to Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, "Huh? Hey, Izuku, are you gonna see what your quirk is? I bet it's not gonna be great as what my quirk is gonna be." Izuku's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to see what my quirk is gonna be." I don't know. I feel like I have an idea what it's gonna be. And Bakugo's like, I don't know what my quirk is gonna be, but I know it's gonna be super cool and flashy. I'm gonna be just like All Might. And Izuku's like, "Yeah, like All Might." And Bakugo hears his name and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, looks like you're gonna see what my quirk is gonna be. Hope it's gonna be cool." Not hope, it's gonna be cool. "We'll see you later, Izuku." So Bakugo doesn't call it Izuku Deku yet, or he's not gonna be calling it Izuku Deku. I mean, his quirk is gonna be pretty splendid. Bakugo goes into Quirk Doctor. You know, let's say an hour later, Bakugo walks out. He has stars in his eyes, and Bakugo's like, "My quirk is explosions. How cool!" And Izuku's like, "Explosions? That's a very flashy quirk, I guess. Just like in those movies like we watched." Izuku says with emotionless in his face, and Bakugo's like, "Yeah, just like the movies. Well, it's gonna be so cool." Yeah. Bakugo's thinking, "Well, see you later." I was about to say Deku. "See you later, Izuku." Bakugo leaves with them. The Bakugo family leaves too. Then the doctor's like, or the nurse is like, "The Midoriyas." And the Midoriyas go in there. They grab Izuku, do tests on Izuku. They notice that Izuku is very cold. So they do more experience, and they told Izuku to put up his hands in the air. And they told him to turn his palm to the ground. They see snow coming out of Izuku's hands, like snowflakes. And they're like, "So he has that type of quirk, huh? A ice quirk." But isn't the parent Midoriya Hasashi a fire user, and Inko Midoriya telekinesis user? The doctors were talking to themselves about what his Izuku's power is. And so they do a few more tests and they grab a big bag of ice and they put it on Izuku. They notice Izuku doesn't even flinch. The doctor's like, so he's resistant to ice. Use stronger ice or colder ice. They use colder ice, nothing. Zip. They use more colder ice, colder. Like they have to put gloves on to use it now. Doesn't even affect Izuku. Izuku's like, what are you doing? And the doctor's like, well, young one, we see that your quirk is probably going to be an ice quirk and you're really resistant to it, but I need to ask for your parents' permission to do one test. It's probably dangerous, but we have doctors to cure it very fast. A healing doctor. Her name is Recovery Girl, a hero. And Izuku's like, Recovery Girl? I heard about her. Yeah, she's about to intern back to UA again. She's gonna line that intern. My bad. She's about to transfer back to UA. She was helping a couple people here. So they ask permission. They say Recovery Girl's here. Asashi knows who a Recovery Girl is, and they give him the okay. Inko was very skeptical, but Asashi convinced her that their kid's a very tough one. He's not gonna be hurt that bad. And Recovery Girl's here, so it's all right. So they give the green light to do it, and they give nitro. My bad, I was gonna say nitroglycerin. Blow up Izuku. No. They give him. I forgot to call that. The cold substance. We call it again. I don't know, but I'm gonna call it Sub-Zero. Yeah, the cold. I'm gonna call it Sub-Zero. The coldest thing below zero or Sub-Zero. So they pour it on Izuku. It's so cold they had to use like a bunch of shit. So they pour on Izuku, and they already have a Recovery Girl right there to give him a smooch if anything happens. They do it and nothing happens. Izuku's like, whoa. It's feeling a little hot in here. I'm playing. No, you didn't say that shit. I mean, he looks at it like nothing happens. Not even an effect. So they wipe Izuku's hands, and there was no mark or nothing, and they were surprised. Like they already see Izuku can manipulate ice particles and just ice and stuff like that, create it and manipulate it. Now he's like that resistance. He heard about another ice users, past ice users and their thing, and they always had a limit, but this one doesn't. He's a very special one. So they go sit down Izuku back to his mom and dad, and Asashi's like, so good news or bad news? And the guys were saying, nope, there's no good news or bad news. It's fully good. And Asashi's like, really? Yeah, the kid's quirk. Oh, before I tell you the quirk, his quirk is different from both of yours. They're nothing similar, including yours, Sasashi. Or Sasashi says it. No, including yours, Mr. Midoriya. And Sasashi's like, how different? Well, the opposite of yours. And Inko's like, the opposite? You mean he has an ice quirk? And the doctor's like, bingo. But for some reason, he has no limit. And Inko's like, what do you mean limit? Well, little Izuku over here can't be affected by his quirk. He can use the coldest temperatures, sub-zero levels, and he's not even affected by it. And Inko's surprised, and Sashi's like, wow, my kid's pretty powerful, but is that all? He's like, the guy's like, no. He can manipulate, create, and manifest, I guess, objects or make objects with ice. And they're all astounded, and Izuku's like, Mom, Dad. This is the first time saying Mom and Dad. He usually says Mother and Father. Now he says Mom and Dad. Mom, Dad, you think I can become a hero? Face. He's trying to create a smile with his face. And Inko picks him up. Oh, my little baby. Yes, you're gonna be a hero. Asashi also says it. You're gonna be a great hero, my beautiful baby boy. He pats Izuku in the head. Izuku's now like smiling, like you can see it, and it's like blowing away Hasashi and Inko. It's like the cuteness levels over 9,000. Even the doctor is just trying to cover his face. He's like, damn, that kid. Shit, he's more cuter than my own boy. Can't allow that. He laughs a little. Well, he writes when he can fully use his quirk, like fully use it. He says 2 to 3 weeks. He writes it, gives it to the parents. They leave, and bro, they celebrate on Azuku's quirk, and bring splendors and stuff like that. So they invite the Bakugos to their house, and now they're celebrating Bakugo's and Izuku's quirks. Yeah, they're celebrating Izuku and Bakugo's quirk and how great it is. And Bakugo, I must say, because Bakugo is gonna be way nicer in this one, I must say he doesn't also have a limit on his explosions, so he won't get that much of a backlash. No, he's not gonna get a backlash of his quirk, so he can just do it the most explosions, stuff like that. So Zuko and Bakugo are sitting next to each other. Bakugo's like, so Zuko, you know what my quirk is? What is? Oh wait, no, my bad. So Zuko, you know what my quirk is? So what's yours? And Zuko's like, well, my quirk is ice. And Bakugo's like, that's it? No, I have no backlash to my quirk, and I can manifest and create anything with my eyes. And Bakugo's like, wow, that's so strong, but mine's is stronger. And Zuko's like, what do you mean? So explosion is pretty strong, but don't you get a backlash too? Bakugo's like, nope. My explosions won't give me a backlash to my body. Looks like I can take the shock with it. They're both smart kids, we see a bunch of dads playing poker in the basement right now, talk about their kids' quirks and stuff like that. We see the moms drinking wine. I'm playing now, doing their own party. The other kids are playing around, stuff like that, around the house and stuff. They basically invited the neighborhood and stuff like that about Bakugo and Deku's quirks. So yeah. So Bakugo and Izuku were talking about how great the quirks is. The other kids were like all fawning over their great quirks. They wish their quirk was like that. But their cheeks, my guy. So let's just say day later they go to elementary school. 2 weeks later they go to elementary school, and Bakugo finally manifests his quirk. He sees it, and now he sees the little explosions popping around his hands. Bakugo makes it a little more bigger, and he kind of blew his face back with using it. Izuku just runs towards Bakugo. He's like, Bakugo, are you okay? And we see Bakugo's face covered with ash, black ash, and he's like, whoa, my quirk is powerful. And Izuku's like, so you're immune to your quirk's explosions? And Bakugo's like, I guess. So cool. So Izuku's like, well, I think my quirk's gonna manifest any week later, and stuff like that. So yeah, Bakugo and Deku sitting around. We see these fucking kids, bro. Oh my god, these 3 kids, bro. They have like, how should I say, some quirks, not that impressive, but they look at Deku and Bakugo with such jealousy. Actually, I said 3. Let me reverse that. 6 kids. They see Bakugo and Deku in jealousy, and they're talking like, those fucking losers. How dare they get such strong quirks? We're supposed to be better than those losers, guys. Those kindergartens talking shit about Bakugo and Deku. Bakugo and Deku. All talking that shit. So recess rolls around, and we see Izuku playing in the swings, and Bakugo's playing in the swings too. Bakugo's challenging Izuku how far they can get, how high they can get in the sky. Izuku was almost there, but these 6 kids started showing up, and they told him Izuku and Bakugo get off the swings. Not like that, but they told him they were gonna play a game. Bakugo and Deku's like, oh, let's do that. Izuku, emotionless, he sensed something was gonna happen. Bakugo gets down, astounded. He's like, I can't wait to play. This one kid, he has spike for hands. He punches Bakugo in the face. Bakugo falls down. Izuku runs towards Bakugo and sees his friend on the floor. Bakugo is bleeding in his left cheek. The kids are laughing and telling, oh, you have such a strong quirk, but such a weak wielder. Bakugo gets up and he's like, you're talking a lot of shit. But for some... now we're gonna see Bakugo, the real Bakugo, canon Bakugo, but he's not gonna do anything to Deku like that. We see Bakugo's like, you're talking a lot of shit, but can you dish out? Bakugo says as as the explosions were getting bigger and bigger. Bakugo was laughing and stuff like that, and Azuki was like, "Well, my quirk didn't manifest yet, but I still can put a pounding on these guys, Bakugo." As Azuku and Bakugo look at each other, they smile. Azuku's smile was a smirk, just smirk. Bakugo's smile was like teeth out, all stuff like that, like sharp, like how Kirishima's mouth looks like, kind of, but in an evil way. The 6 kids just whimper looking at Bakugo and Deku. Azuku's like, "So I take 3 and you take 3?" And Bakugo's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to beat them up. They dare hit me when I was having fun." Azuku's 3 look. My bad, guys. I'm choking up. The 3 that Azuku's about to fight smile a little, and they're like, "This quirkless, not quirkless, but this how should I say, this normie right now thinks he can beat us. Your quirk didn't even manifest yet." Azuku's like, "I don't need a quirk to beat you." All 3 of them run. They throw a punch. Azuku dodges it and knees the dude in the stomach, or the kid in the stomach. He falls down. Azuku jumps off of the kid's back after he fell down when he was on his knees. He kicks the other one in the face, but the other kid had a rope type quirk, and ties Azuku's hands and slams him down on the floor. They're about to jump Azuku, but Azuku grabs the rope and pulls it towards him. He grabs that kid by the neck, and slams him to the ground. There's 2 kids. The 2 kids are now down, and Azuku snaps his fingers. And there was a kid that punches Bakugo. He's like, "You dare hit my friend," Azuku says. The kid's like whimpering, but then he forms his spike hands again. He forms his spike hands. He goes towards Azuku, and this kid, I'm gonna say that his quirk was, I'm gonna say mid, but for a kid to have that quirk was pretty strong. So Azuku's having a hard time dodging his hits. Azuku's getting all scraped up and shit like that. But into Bakugo's perspective, he's dropping these kids like it's nothing. He's fucking boom, the kid flies back. Other kid, boom, the kid flies back. But he's having a hard time. This kid has a water quirk, so it's technically deactivating Bakugo's quirk. So Bakugo and Deku are having hard times with one of their kids that they're beating up, shit like that. They're having a hard time fighting one person. Like, did you beat 2? Like, get stronger, losers. I'm playing. But yeah, back to the thing. Azuku's having a hard time with the Spike Boy, and he's throwing hard hits. But this time, Azuku really got hit. Azuku got hit in the stomach. Azuku falls on the ground. He coughs up blood. He's like, "You really punched like a bitch." I'm like, you punch like a sissy. Kid's like, "What did you say?" He kicks Azuku in the chin, and Azuku flies back a little, but he picks himself up. The kid's beating the fuck out of Azuku, and Bakugo's having a hard time. He's trying to get to Azuku to save him. He knows that Azuku's quirk didn't manifest yet, but he's having a hard time to beat the water kid over there. The kid's wailing on Azuku because Azuku's on the floor. Azuku's breathing heavily. Azuku's like, I won't lose. I'll become the number 1. He didn't really say that, but he's saying it like that. He's thinking to himself, like, if I can't beat him, how am I ever gonna beat Bakugo to become number 1? Azuku says as his hand's getting colder and colder. Azuku was about to get hit again, but Azuku grabs the hand. The kid's like, yeah, but then the kid looks. It pierced through Azuku's hand. The spike went through Azuku's hand. He's like, "Oh shit! I think I went." Oh. He looks at the hand again. Now it's freezing up. He's like, "What's happening?" His hand turned into a chunk of ice, and now it's spraying towards his whole body. The kid's like, "What's happening?" It's getting to his mouth. It's closing his mouth. The kid's fully frozen. Azuku gets out of it, but he had to rip out of his hands out of the spike. He's bleeding. Azuku uses his ice to help his body. It's like regeneration, basically, to him. He's healing himself. Azuku gets out. He sees the kid's frozen. He's like, "Did I kill him?" Azuku saying. He taps him. He taps the ice, and now it's now the frozen is gone. It's like defrosting. The kid falls on the ground. Azuku's like, "Oh shit!" He's trying to hear the heartbeat. It's like, I can't hear it. Wait, he is faintly, but now it's coming back. There's a heartbeat now. The kid's breathing. Izuku sighs. My quirk manifest. It's cool, Izuku says. So I really could manipulate ice. Izuku says, as Bakugo walks up to Izuku he walks up with Izuku, and with the water kid, the water boys, he grabbed the water boy by the head and he's holding him while he's walking to Izuku. He throws the water boy on the floor. He checks up to Izuku. He's like, Izuku, are you okay? I saw you freaking freeze that kid. Is he alive? Izuku's like, yeah, he's alive. But I manifested my quirk, Izuku says. And Bakugo's like, yeah, we both did, huh? You know, all happy and stuff like that. Whoa. But stretch. Yeah. Ooh, my bad. I snapped my neck. Yeah, so Bakugo and Deku were happy, and the teachers run up and say what happened. These kids attacked us. Izuku got a little injured. He got pierced, and Bakugo's cheek is all fucked up. Like you know the spear, my bad. The spike, it went through Bakugo's mouth and the other side of Bakugo's mouth, and it missed his teeth because Bakugo was talking. So it went through his cheeks, and they see Bakugo and Deku all messed up. But Bakugo and Deku were smiling, happy, because Deku manifested his quirk and Bakugo saw it and it was cool. So we get a time skip. We see Izuku 15. He's putting on his my bad. Was it 15? 14. We see Izuku putting on his coat. There's a middle school coat. He puts it on. He's like, so this is gonna be last year of school in middle school. Izuku says. Izuku opens the door. He sees his mom and dad, stuff like that, and Izuku got a bunch of recommendations. Also, Bakugo got recommendations too, but they promised themselves they get in by their own strength. And Higashi's looking at Izuku. He's like, that's my slugger. He puts his hand on Izuku's shoulder. Izuku's 6 foot, but his dad was 6'5". Yeah. The Midoriyas are tall. Inko was, Inko was pretty tall. She was 5'9", so like she is tall in this one. So yeah, and the Inko that never got bloated, but she's still MILF. You know what I mean, bro? She's still Inko, bro. Like she can any day. You know what I mean? But yeah, we see Izuku. Talking to his father, and his father's like, so you're not gonna take none of them recommendations? And Izuku's like, yeah, I'm not gonna take 0 of those recommendations, father. I promised Bakugo that I will become no, my bad, I will beat it with my own scores, and I'll get top scores too. Well, Bakugo didn't take a liking to that, basically, and he says, no, I'm gonna beat you and stuff like that. The regular rivalry. Higashi laughs low. He's like, just like me and his father. And Izuku's like, what do you mean? He's Higashi's like, never mind, Izuku, it's back in the days. He's like, well, I don't want to be late to class. Izuku's like, my bad. Higashi's like, yeah. Inko talks to Izuku, I packed up your food, your lunch, stuff like that. And Izuku's like, thank you. He grabs his lunchbox and he runs out of the door. He has bread in his mouth. He got it because, breakfast. He never had time for breakfast, so he grabbed it, put it in his mouth. That little anime girl stuff. But yeah, Izuku busts through the door and starts running towards school. He knows he's about to be late. I'm about to be late. Izuku's now running towards school. Izuku, he's fast for a middle schooler. He's running, and then he sees Bakugo doing the same thing, and they're both running. He's like, Bakugo, and Bakugo looks like, oh, Deku. My bad. Deku, you're late too? And Izuku's like, yeah, I don't want to be late. My mom gets angry. Izuku says, emotionless, of course. Bakugo's like, well, my mom will beat my fucking ass. He says it like that. My mom will beat my ass if I don't get to school early. And they both start running. They run through the halls. They get up there. They made it to school. They're about to make it to school. They get in their class and stuff like that. They open the door. The teacher is like, you're almost, and Izuku and Bakugo gets in there late. You're almost late, the teacher says. And Bakugo says, Bakugo says, well, we made it on time, and we're not late. We're almost, though. So, Yeah, Izuku's like, sit down, and Izuku, sit down too. They both sit down. They sit next to each other and stuff like that. They have a reputation, both of them. Izuku and Bakugo have a reputation of being that person, being that person that's gonna make it to UA, being the strongest one there. People challenge Bakugo and Deku daily, but Izuku just sits there and waits, reading a book, while Bakugo is fighting the people that challenge both of them. And Bakugo's like, Izuku, don't waste your time in fighting these losers. I can take both of them by myself, Bakugo says. Izuku reading his book and stuff like that. See, that's basically daily what happens. Bakugo always takes up the challenge and stuff like that. Izuku trains, but he doesn't have experience like Bakugo. Bakugo experienced fighting. Izuku only had experience fighting in kindergarten, a bunch of times. But Bakugo always wanted to fight those people. So Bakugo has more experience in fighting than Izuku does. So yeah, Bakugo has that leverage. But yeah, Izuku, he was reading stuff like that. But back to, where we was. That's the reputation in school. The big two, it sounds better when it's big three. But I'm gonna say, what would be a great name for those two? The great two? No, the powerhouses. Yeah, I'm gonna say powerhouses. The powerhouses of middle school. So they have a known reputation, stuff like that. I mean, Bakugo has more of a reputation than Izuku because Izuku just barely fights anybody. Bakugo has like that much stuff. But yeah, let's just say the teacher talks about career stuff, and then he throws the papers in the air. He's like, I already know you want to be heroes. Everyone's showing off their quirks. But Izuku's still reading his book while Bakugo's like, teach, don't drop me and Deku, my bad, me and Izuku with these losers, these D-listers, these nobodies. And Izuku's like, don't you think that's a little harsh, Bakugo? And Bakugo's like, nah, it's not that much, Izuku. I mean, I wouldn't be wrong if it was facts. And Izuku's like, well, you're not lying there, Bakugo. Izuku and Bakugo laugh, and all the guys are talking shit about him. And Izuku's like, so what are you gonna do about it? In such a cold way. Everyone's like, nothing. Bakugo starts laughing. He's like, you really got scared like that, huh? Izuku, you really do have a cold personality. Izuku's like, I don't see what you're talking about. And Bakugo starts laughing again and stuff like that. All the kids just be quiet and stuff like that. And the teacher's like, oh, so you both are applying for UA. Why aren't you guys taking the recommendations? The teacher says. And, well, Bakugo and Deku says, because I want to test out my strength. Both of them say it at the same time. And he's like, what do you mean? Well, Bakugo says it before Izuku says, well, I'm going to be Izuku to be number one. And Izuku's like, yeah, in your dreams, Bakugo. Maybe maybe in your next life. He didn't tell Bakugo to kill himself. No, he didn't do that shit. But he said, maybe in your next life you can beat me. Izuku's like, Bakugo starts laughing. Yeah, right, Izuku. You really think, huh? Yeah. So, all that's happening, and the day ends. Izuku and Bakugo usually takes this route. The kids always tell Izuku and Bakugo, don't do it. One day you will just fuck up your legs. And Izuku and Bakugo don't even care. They just do it anyway. Izuku and Bakugo just jumps down off the window. Yeah, they jump off the window and lands perfectly. Izuku and Bakugo started walking at the middle of the school grounds where these two fucking kids went up to them. They think they're better than them and shit like that. They're not, bro. Like, get off your high horse. You're not greater than Izuku and Bakugo. So they're talking all that shit. It was a kid with a lightning quirk. It's not Denki, don't worry. A lightning quirk and a earth quirk. Those two kids, they're like talking shit to Deku and Bakugo. And Bakugo's like, so you want to get beat up? Don't worry, Izuku. I got it. And before Bakugo was gonna say that, Izuku's like, nah. This time, I want to test out my skills. I've been training for this moment. Bakugo's like, huh, okay. Maybe I can learn what you were training so hard for. Bakugo says as he goes out of the corner. He sits down. Bakugo says, you better entertain me, Izuku. I want to see what you got. Izuku's like, don't worry about that, Bakugo. You'll be entertained. The kid's like, oh, you think you're gonna beat us? And the other kid's like, nah, he's not gonna beat us. He's a loser. Even though he's the powerhouses of this middle school, he's probably weak. Izuku's like, yeah, wow, you guys are really, really dumb. They call us powerhouses for a reason. One of us can destroy the whole entire school if you wanted to. That's why we're the powerhouses. Izuku says in a monotone voice. The kids are kind of freaking out a little, but like, nah, like, he's probably lying. They think. Izuku's like, you think we're lying? Izuku starts walking. He takes one step. The whole ground is frozen. The school grounds, instead of the school, but like the grounds are whole frozen. It's 80 feet away of frost or something like that. It froze the ground. The kid's like, what do you do? He's like, so if you take one step, you'll be frozen. My quirk is very powerful, you see. I'm gonna make it to Yue. But before I do that, I need experience. Bakugo is beating me. Bakugo's like, you know it, Izuku. And Izuku's like, be quiet. I'm talking. Bakugo starts laughing again. One day, we'll go against each other. But Izuku's like, well, Bakugo's beating me in experience. He knows how to fight while I don't. So you guys need to give me a challenge. And he's like, yeah, I will give you a challenge. The kid that has a lightning quirk, he starts jumping in the air. He's about to throw a lightning bolt at Izuku. He throws it at Izuku, and then he sees Izuku's gone. Or he sees a clone of Izuku's ice. It turns into shambles. Izuku, it's like teleportation, but Izuku comes out of the back of the ice. Or, my bad. The floor. He comes out of the floor that was covered with ice. It looks like he teleported. He grabs the kid by the neck and slams him to the ground. He is KO'd. Bakugo is looking like, teleportation? No. He's using his ice to manipulate himself. He's probably teleporting or something like that. I need to talk to him about this newfound ability. Bakugo's thinking. The Earth Kid's like, my friend. I'm not gonna name those guys, but he's like, my friend, you bastard. The dude's making earth coming around and stuff like that. He throws the earth at Izuku. Izuku manifests a sword out of ice and he cuts through it like it was nothing, like it was butter. The kid's like, what? He throws the biggest boulder he can make with his earth ability. He throws at Izuku. Izuku makes a hammer and he busted that thing. It explodes in impact. The kid's now just about to fall over. The kid falls over and he touches the ground that was covered in ice. He's now becoming frozen. And Izuku's now walking to him. Izuku kneels down to him. His hands, his legs, his body's frozen. And his next body frozen too. The kid's like, please, stop this. And Izuku's like, see, never challenge me or Bakugo again. You already know what the results is going to be, Izuku says. As then he defrosts the kid and the kid just passes out in sheer fear. Like the kid's scared of Izuku. Bakugo is now walking towards Izuku. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to tell you this, but actually no, I'm just gonna say it. Bakugo's now walking towards Izuku. He's walking on the ice, and Izuku didn't know it was Bakugo at first, so he was about to freeze Bakugo. Bakugo explodes the ice off of his feet. No, he didn't use his hands. He used his legs. His feet were exploding. Yeah. If you watched them or read the manga or something like that. Or, not gonna say anything like that. But Bakugo's using his nitroglycerin on his whole body. He manifested Quirk manifest. My bad. Quirk awakened his power when he was a kid or something like that after the fight. I'm just saying that because of plot. And I want to make Bakugo stronger so the fight can be way better. So yeah. So it just exploded the ice before he can freeze Bakugo. And Bakugo's like, yo, Izuku, were you really about to freeze me? And Izuku's like, I didn't know you were there, Bakugo. I'm sorry. but I feel more sorry for your feet. And Izuku's, my bad. Bakugo's like, what do you mean? He's like, your your shoes, my bad, my feet, your shoes. I should feel bad for. Bakugo's like, what? His shoes are exploded off. He's like, what? These are like the limited edition. Deku. Bakugo runs at Izuku, and Izuku starts running away. not in sheer fear. Not in fear. He's running because he's having fun. Izuku's like, you can be mad at me if you can catch me, Izuku says, and all that and stuff like that. But yeah, Izuku and Bakugo are just having fun, shit like that. Best friends. It should have been like this in the anime, really. But yeah, we see Izuku. We see Izuku in the time skip. My bad. We time skip. Izuku is getting ready for UA after the training they had. No sludge villain shit like that, or no meeting All Might. So yeah, Bakugo for the 10 months, Bakugo and Deku were training. Sparring and stuff like that. They're both even. 9-9-9-9. Izuku 99 losses, 99 wins. Bakugo 99 losses, 99 wins. Before they're gonna sell their who can make the 100 before them, they noticed that it was late and they have to leave Dagobah Beach because Bakugo and Deku cleaned it up or blow off the face of the earth. That was Bakugo's side. He blew off the face of the earth. Izuku just froze it and condensed it and threw it in the ocean. You might be thinking, oh, he's glittering, oh, he's polluting the earth. No, he condensed it with ice and he destroyed it. Basically, when he threw it in the ocean, so just little snowflakes going in the ocean. So he didn't pollute anything. Izuku is very environmental. But yeah, Bakugo didn't care. He just blew it up. Like those scraps, just all gone. The face of the earth, they're just now sand. They're sanded now. So, Izuku and Bakugo know it was late, so they went home. And Bakugo was talking to Izuku, saying, "We will sell this. Sell this after the UA entrance and exams." And Izuku did a proposition to Bakugo. He tells Bakugo, "Maybe we should not sell this by a spar. Let's see who can make it number one, who can get the most points in the UA entrance exams." And Bakugo's like, "Huh, okay." Izuku and Bakugo fist bumps and they leave. The next day happens. Izuku is now running towards the UA because he's always being late. He likes sleeping a lot, guys. His room's like fucking the Arctic cold. So he's running and he sees Bakugo running again. So I can the same. They're just the same people. They're always being late. They start running to UA. They get there and dang, I cracked my neck. My bad, guys. But my neck was getting cracked up. So Izuku is now Izuku is walking with Bakugo and I hate this ship. Known to my life. I hate this ship so bad, but I have to do it, guys, because I don't know. Bakugo is way nicer in this one. You know what? Yeah. Bakugo was walking next to Izuku's right, and Bakugo sees this girl that's gonna trip on the floor. I know, guys, you're gonna hate me. Ooh. Bakugo grabs her before she can fall down, and he looks at her, and it's Mrs. Mochi. Ooh. I know, guys, you can hate me. Wait, but this is a different Bakugo though. The nice Bakugo, the competitive Bakugo, but nice. So I feel more happy that this Bakugo is way nicer and there's more probability. So Bakugo looks at Ochako or Mochi girl, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And Izuku's like, "Oh, Bakugo, you're such a man. You're so romantic and shit like that." Izuku says, walking up the stairs, and Bakugo's like, "What did you say?" And Ochako's like, "Thank you." Ochako says, blushing a little because what Izuku says, and Bakugo's like, Bakugo puts down Mochi girl, and yeah, Bakugo's like, you look like Mochi. Bakugo says, blue, and Ochako's like, oh, what? No, my name is Ochako. And Bakugo's like, okay, Mochi girl. Didn't even care what she said. He just nicknamed her Mochi girl. And Ochako's like, yeah, thank you for saving me. And Baku's like, no problem. Baku looks back to see Izuku already opening the door and leaving into the entrance. And Baku's like, I'm not gonna be late. Let's go inside. Baku says, grabs Mochi Girl's hand and starts going inside the auditorium. Izuku sits down. Ochako sits in a different place. Bakugo sits down there, and he's like, Izuku, so you really gonna leave me like that? And Izuku's like, yeah, I was gonna leave you like that. I mean, you were having your couples therapy over there with her. And Bakugo's like, what did you say? And Izuku's like, nothing. And yeah, President Mike was talking on the mic and stuff like that, and Ida stands up. He's like, you two, stop talking, blah blah blah, you need to be quiet. And he's like, shut up, engines. Or I think he said that. No, Bakugo says, shut up, engines, no one to talk to you. You're the Ingenium's brother, right? And Bakugo's like, just fucking flaming Bakugo and shit like that. I mean, Bakugo's flaming Ida and shit like that. And Bakugo was, my bad. Ida was like, yeah, and he's like, so you were born with a 5-second start, huh? And just flaming the shit out of Ida and shit like that. Being born with a hero for a brother to teach him his ways and shit like that. He's telling that me and my best friend over here, or me and my comrade, my frenemy over here, had a spar with each other to see who can get shit like that. Just giving his life story and shit like that to Ida. Ida then just shut the fuck up and sits down. Izuku's like, why did you tell him everything we did? And Baku's like, I don't know, eat the rich or some shit. And Izuku's like, but we're like middle class, or like not even middle class, we're kind of rich, don't you think? Baku's like, yeah. Izuku just face palms himself. He's like, I have an idiot for a friend. Baku's like, I'm not an idiot, I just didn't think of that. Yes, you don't think, Izuku says. Baku's like, what? Never mind. Izuku and Bakugo does the test. They ace it like that and stuff. And we get to how should I say, City B. And Izuku sees that Mochi girl that Bakugo was talking about, and he walks up to her, and he's like, so you're the girl that my friend saved, huh? Izuku says, and emotionlessly, my bad, in a modern toned way. And Ochaka's like, yeah, your friend is really nice ish and cute. She says, I know, guys, you can kill me in the comments, you can kill me in real life, I would kill myself too, but yeah. And Izuku's like, I could tell him you said that. And Ochaka's like, what? And then the gates open and Izuku just starts rushing. He's doing that, he's sliding with his ice. What was that one person's name? Damn it, bro, I remember him. It was from Incredibles. He slid in the ice and stuff like that. Come on. Damn it. My bad, guys. I forgot about him. His name. But he's sliding in the ice and stuff like that. He's creating 2 swords out of his hands to start slicing robots left and right. He's going hardcore. Izuku sees like 1,000 robots right there. Izuku just taps his foot in the ground and he freezes. No, not freezes it. He makes glaciers and it goes through the robots. It's like easily. Izuku's now sliding through his glaciers and stuff like that, jumping over it and stuff. He sees a 5-pointer. Yeah, a 5-pointer. Izuku like, he makes a little ball of ice and he throws it he like basically blasts it at the 0-pointer and it goes through it and explodes the 0-pointer. We see the teachers looking at Izuku and he's like, dang, this kid has such a strong quirk and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, his quirk's very nice, but does he have a limit? The teacher says. They look at his quirk and he's like, yeah, he doesn't have a limit. The mouse bear said, Mr. Nezu says. And she's like, what do you mean there's no limit? And he's like, well, he can't be affected by his own cold, so he's resistant to his own cold. So what? Like, no, any type of cold, Sub-Zero type levels of cold. And she was like, Sub-Zero type levels of cold? This kid's outstanding. And we see, oh yeah, this is where it's coming in. We see Endeavor. He's like, his quirk, it doesn't take any cold in it. He's like, he's thinking about his daughter, Shoko. That's also there too, with Endeavor and the other recommended kids. And Shoko's looking at Zuko. So he has an ice quirk. That's cool. Shoko is not paying that much of mind to him because she's really hating on her father. And Endeavor's like, that's very nice quirk right there. I can't be affected by it too. He's making glaciers like it's nothing. It might be he might be a challenge for Shoko in the future. I don't like this boy. Endeavor says it out loud. And you know what? You're gonna know why. Or no, you're gonna like this why I'm doing this. Endeavor says, I don't like this boy. This feels like a challenge for Shoko in the future. You better defeat him. Shoko looks at Endeavor. He really doesn't like this boy, huh? I might just make him my friend if I see him in 1A. Friend? Or maybe future wife. I'm playing. Stop. Stop. But yeah. We see, if you have a future husband, no, not wife, guys. Like, I said wife on accident. My bad. If I said wife like that, my bad, guys. But yeah, we see. Now we see Bakugo's perspective. Like, this kid's fucking destroying my guy. Just bam, bam, bam. Bakugo smiling, jumping over it, exploding. But Bakugo also has a heart of a hero in this one. He's not regular. I want to be rich and I want a mansion type shit, like he said in like the first episode. The greatest hero. You know, he wants to be number one hero just to save people and shit like that. But he also wants to beat Deku. That's also another motivation for him. So we see Bakugo destroying, just like he has over like 120 points. I think it was 121, but yeah, we're not going to numbers. And he has hero points too. He's been saving kids. He'd be saving other kids and stuff like that, exploding them away, telling them if they're all right. But Bakugo is really thinking, if I keep helping them, I won't beat Izuku. But for some reason, my head's telling me to save them. Bakugo's saying in such a mad tone. He wants to be Izuku so bad, but his body's just telling him no. And stuff like that. So we get back to Izuku, and Izuku's just like destroying stuff like that. And yeah. Let's see. Yeah. And then we see Izuku just destroying stuff like that, you know. Like giving the thing, you know, he's at 123 now. And then Izuku's like, I think I should stop now. Wait, no. Bakugo, Izuku says as he taps his foot into different spots of the floor, and he hits a bunch of 5-pointers like it was nothing. That's 1-5, that's 2-5, and that's 3-5. So I got 15 points, make that 100 and wait, how much points did I had last time? Izuku lost track of how many points he had. Izuku's counting, he's like then a 0-pointer comes out of nowhere. A 0-pointer is like right behind Izuku and stuff like that. We say this random bystander, not my bad, not bystanders, but this regular person just like in the floor, like about to be crushed, and Izuku looks at him. Yeah, guys, it's just a regular person. It's not gonna be Mochi Girl in this one. But Izuku looks back, he sees a 0-pointer, and he's about to crush that one person. Izuku just looks at it. His eyes started to glow blue. Izuku just looks back. He takes one step towards it, and the biggest glacier, that bigger than what Todoroki made in canon and the sports festival, that the glacier went through the 0-pointer. It went, the 0-pointer went so up, like, I don't know how to say it, like he basically made Mount Everest like a little, like 1/3 of Mount Everest. Yeah, 1/3 of Mount Everest right there. And it went through the 0-pointer, and the 0-pointer is like hanging, or not even hanging on it, it's really just pierced through him. it's like it's like a glacier, and on top of that glacier, it's a robot pierced through. It's all badass shit like that. It's like a big ass mountain, and everybody was surprised to see what this kid just did. Azuku looks at it, and Azuku breathes in, breathes out, like but it's like his breath turned cold. Azuku smiles. He picks up the guy. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, but that was really manly of you." Yeah, I said bystander. Nah, that was my dude, Kirishima. Kirishima. And Kirishima was like, "Well, I could have survived that." And he's like, "What do you mean? I saved you." And he's like, "Well, I did fell down, but I could have used my hardening quirk to save myself." He's like, well, a hardening quirk. What a great quirk you have." Kirishima was like, "Thank you. It is a great quirk, isn't it? But not as good as yours." And he's like, "Well, it's usually not the quirk, it's the person that wields it that makes it great, and I feel like you can make it greater in the future," Izuku says. And Kirishima was like, "Thank you." They leave, and Recovery Girl comes and stuff like that. And nothing bad happened. Recovery Girl asks Izuku questions about did your quirk affect you in any way? Any backlashes that affected your body? Izuku's like, no, nothing really. Everything is peachy and stuff like that. So Izuku leaves and stuff like that. He walks out of UA smiling. Bakugo walks up to Izuku, and Bakugo's like, "Well, I had 158 points." Izuku's like, "Oh, well, I had 142 points," Izuku says. And Bakugo smiles. He's like, "So I win." That means I win, Izuku. Looks like you lose. They both don't know about the hero points, so Bakugo's probably gonna get some hero points. Izuku too. Let's see if Izuku got more hero points though. So we get like a 1 week in the future. Izuku gets his letter. Izuku opens it. He sees that he got first place because he saved people too, and he saved Kirishima from the 0-pointer. And without even noticing, he saved a couple more people too, because it looks like the 0-pointer hit a building, and the building was gonna fall on 8 people, but Izuku froze the 0-pointer and froze a building on accident without even knowing. As he's like, well, that was not heroic of myself. I only saved one person. That's what I thought," as he says. And All Might says, "Looks like you're number one." And he's like, I'm number one. As he said in excitement, he makes a smirk. He was about to call Bakugo, but Bakugo calls him, and he's like, "How did I get second place, Izuku? Did you save a bunch of people?" And Izuku's like, "Yeah, I saved a lot of people, you know." Bakugo's like, "Ugh. Oh my freaking god." How much points you got in total? Well, I had what was it? I forgot what I got last time. Bakugo's like, "You're really forgetting a lot, huh?" And Bakugo's like, "Well, I rounded up my number and I got 239. I was like, "Oh yeah, All Might said I had 240. Bakugo's like, "What? Looks like I beat you by 1 point, huh?" Izuku says with a smile on his face. Bakugo just hangs up and just throws the thing. He's like, "Dang it, I lost to Izuku. How can life forsaken me like this?" Bakugo says, "Oh," he gets on the floor and stuff like that. And Izuku's like, "Oh yeah, Bakugo." Izuku texts Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, "What?" The girl asked for your number, so I gave it to her. And Bakugo's like, "Mochi girl?" Oh, Izuku's like, "You mean Ochako?" And he's like, "Nah, I think she said Mochi girl." Bakugo says, "That's her name." And Izuku's like, No, it was Ochako. But she asked for your phone number, so you're probably gonna get a text later in the day or something. Looks like she never had the courage to text you for this whole week, huh? Izuku says. And Bakugo's like, if they're going to ask me, like the great Bakugo, or texting me, the great Bakugo, on a date, or trying to text me because they like me, I would be nervous too, He's like, yeah. But I can't wait till we meet in UA, Zeus says, in 2 weeks. Baku's like, yeah, I'll defeat you, my rival. And this is where we're going to leave it off, guys. I know. Chosen, this is an hour long now? Yeah, hour long. Let's go. Hour long. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to make part 2. If this gets good, I'll make part 2 the next day, Tuesday, maybe. Who knows? I'll see you guys later, and bye.